speech is flood vehicles.
So, with all the rain we had over the past couple weekends, did anybody get any flooding in their basement? Nobody?
I don't have a basement.
Okay. What about flooding of your car? Like basements, cars can be flooded too. And during the next few minutes, you'll discover why, at all costs, you should avoid buying one of these flooded vehicles. You're probably thinking, okay, duh, I would never buy a flooded vehicle. I get my cars from the car lot. But what if you bought one by mistake? Have you ever thought, whatever happened to all those cars that are flooded after a hurricane or a rainstorm? So imagine you're a car, a really nice car, and you're fully loaded with all the bells and whistles, and you're perfect. At least 2 days ago you were. You sit back and think to yourself, man, life is wonderful. It can't even get any better than this. Hurricane Harvey, I hate you. I'm here now, but that flood was a death sentence. You look around the junkyard and you see all other types of cars with way more body damage than you. And you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I know I'm a flood vehicle, but why am I going to be sent to the crusher? Wait a minute, what were the exact words the insurance lady said to my owner? Total loss? I'd never even heard of that word before a couple days ago. But you know what? My owner did seem to cheer up when she got that envelope. You notice a man walking towards you. You say to yourself, who is this city slicker? What does he want? Why is he looking at me? He calls the junkyard owner over and they start talking. You say, what can possibly be going on? Wait a minute. Did he say $2,000? $1,000? Wait a minute, I'm worth way more than that. He's a cheap city slicker. Now, who was he calling? Interesting, I never knew there was such a thing as a car dealer that only sold flooded vehicles. Wait a minute, come again? Chicago? I'm being sold to a car lot in Chicago? Earlier I mentioned, have you ever wondered what happened to all those vehicles, those flood vehicles, after a hurricane or a rainstorm? Is anyone surprised that this type of resale of flooded vehicles has been happening for decades? So as consumers and possible consumers, what should you do to avoid these flood vehicles? As an insurance broker, I'll give you the 2 most effective tips that I give my clients. First, probably the least expensive, is Spring for a Carfax Complete Vehicle History Report. It's $40, but it'll tell you if the car has had a flood or a salvage title. Second, which is going to be more expensive for you, but it's a surefire way to know if a car has been in a flood, and that's pay a reputable mechanic to do an inspection. There are certain things that they look for, like watermarks in the dashboard, mold underneath the carpet, things that you wouldn't be able to spot, but they'll be able to spot. And also, in certain situations where a vehicle is over a certain age, it would never have on the title that it's a salvage vehicle. Like, for example, if it's over 7 or 8 years old and it comes from Mississippi, they're not required to put on the title that it's a flood or a salvage vehicle. Finally, what about if you find out it's a flood vehicle and you decide to yourself, you know what, this is just a really good deal. I understand that it was in a flood, but this is too good of a deal to pass by. I still will caution you, do not do it. You will regret it. Because as an insurance agent, what I know and what most clients don't know is that when you do have an issue with your car, if it's a flood vehicle, the insurance company is not going to pay you what you think you deserve. First of all, most insurance companies won't even cover a car that's had flood damage for obvious reasons. The owner in the store who got the check, she got a payout. She got a check for her car being totaled. So they know that this car has already been paid out. So they won't even insure it. And if they do, they'll do it for a fraction of the value. So say, for example, you get into a really bad accident and your car costs $10,000 to be repaired. And that's what the mechanic wants to charge you. If you have a flood vehicle, your insurance company will only pay you 40% of that. So you'll only get $4,000. So resist the temptation and avoid flood vehicles as if they were the plague.